Whenever I get my hair braided, I look like a baby. Oh, I'm gonna fix up my sideburns though. Day 2. Day 3. Here's my nose. Day 4. Day 7. I don't know what happened to day 5 and day 6.
Right here. But yeah, I had these since April, so I was up for a month and a half. So I had these in for a month and a half.
Hey Homo sapiens and Marbites, welcome back to the channel, welcome back any new watchers. I am Rogue Marby Scott and welcome back to Saturdayz with Marbz. So in today's episode we are going to obviously create a look, and this look is going to be inspired by a TV show way back in the 80s. I think it was first introduced to us in 1980, and what I loved about this show is that all the characters and the setup was all made from recycled products, and yeah, I just feel like it gave like a positive message in a way that you could, you know, recycle products in our everyday being and, you know, create a TV show for children. Children would then, you know, probably go home and or would be at home or go to nursery, and they'll just make their own little things out of recycled things with the help and support of their family and or teachers. And one can only hope that you have been taking note of the past looks. So without further ado, we're going to go on to what we need for this tutorial. So you're going to need lashes of whatever kind you want, and yes, I'm using a Ferrero Rocher box because this is where I keep all my lashes. When I've used them, I just put them in there. Some of them are mixed up a little bit, but that's okay. You're going to need something that it has squares or whatever, just because we're going to use this later on in our foundation, not foundation, in our eyeshadow application. You're going to need some glue, all the brushes that you can get your hands on for your eye makeup, that is. Some white liquid liner. You might want to grab a flash palette or face paints, a sharpener, and some sequins and stick-on glitter. Oh, and let's not forget, you're gonna need buttons, or maybe just one. So let's go on to the tutorial. So I'm just going to brush my brows and fix them before I go in with my tame and frame, because this brow looks thinner than this brow, strangely enough, only today. Anyway, going in with my tame and frame. I might have picked up a lot of product, so what I'm going to do is just place that product in there and go into my brow.
We are not going to concentrate on our brows today, we're just going to make them look a little neater.
So I haven't primed my eyes today just because of the shade that I'm going to be using as my primary color today. So I'm going in with Spooky from the James Charles palette, and I am going to go over my right eye and just pack that on. And I'm not being too careful with that because we are going to be blending that out later.
So doing this look, I was thinking more futuristic, as in 2020 envisioning, so yeah.
Wow, that makes my eye pop. Using a fluffy brush now, I'm just going to go around the edges with a little bit of Spooky on there and blend.
So just make sure when you're blending in your darkest of blacks, you don't go too far up, because we are going into a next shade of black.
Going into the Jodie Beauty Vivacious palette, I am going to now go over that with not Intergalactic, Galactic. And as you can see, I'm bringing that all the way up to my brow, and I'm going to feather it out.
Just a note, when I was blending in Galactic with Spooky, I was thoroughly impressed in how they both blended together.
Using Destiny from the Vivacious palette, I'm going to use a fluffy pencil brush and just go underneath my brow.
And I'm using it dry just because I wanted a subtle pop, because if I did dampen my brush, it would have been way too pigmented, and yeah, I just wanted a subtle little blue glow.
Going back in with Galactic, I'm now just going to blend a little bit more over what we've just done with Destiny, just to darken it up a little bit. Just want a lovely dark eye, a mysterious shade. So I'm just going to use 2 pumps of my concealer to go underneath my eyes, like so. And as you can see, I haven't moved it all the way up here, but I will blend that way, and then I'm just going to drag it down and into the crevices on my nose. Put some on my fulcrum, onto my chin, drag the excess onto my forehead, and I'm going to take some of that and put that on the bridge of my nose. And I'm going to let that die down for a little bit, because today we are not using foundation. I'm not using foundation because I've got cornrows or braids or cane rows, or however you want to call it. I'm just not going to be using foundation, because sometimes I do get foundation into my hairline, and as you can see, I've got braids. Do not want to get foundation in there, because I don't know how to clean that up. I am not an expert when it comes to, you know, having braids and wearing makeup.
And also, the main reason why I didn't want to put some foundation onto my face is because I wanted this look to look very vintage. I wanted it to look very raw. So I wanted my skin to look, yeah, I've got makeup on, but also you can see my blemishes, you can see my spots, because the show that is in question that I'm envisioning and doing is very raw.
Then I'm going to go in with my second shade of concealer, and I'm going to do that triangle motion, because I do want to bring some attention into the middle of my face today. However, I don't want to use foundation.
So as usual, we're just going to blend around the edges first, and then go into the middles, and then blend everything out properly to make everything look seamless. So the under eye is looking a little bit bare, so I'm going in first with the shade Spooky, and then I am going to just blend that out with the pencil brush that I've got, wipe that off, go into a fluffier brush and go in with, I believe the shade is Intergalactic, and just, you know, create a nice blend of black into grayish blue. And then we are going to go on to doing the stenciling that I've wanted to show you in the video. So as you can see, I'm using a stencil that is actually a thing that you put into your mixing jugs for protein shakes or whatever, and I'm just creating some triangles on my face, and I'm just using all of the shades that I've already placed onto my eye to create this look around, blending it out a little bit more. Moving on to liquid eyeliner, I'm just going to be placing loads of spots of that onto my face, and yes, I'm using white from NYX, and I'm creating spots like in various sizes, just because I want them to look like stars and galaxies and clusters and whatnot. So yeah, I'm just going to create a nice star there, and then we're going to continue and move on.
Okay, so now I need to go on to some detailing. So we've done the stars here, as you can see, and now I just need a button here, and then I'm just going in with some Spooky. Just to go around this button, and then we're gonna blend.
Pow 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 pow.
And Sunshine is from the Vivacious palette.
So creating this look, I could not have any yellow into it, so I had to.
On this eye, it's optional. You might not see it in the final look, depending on the size of button you're going to use.
So depending on what size button you're going to use is depending on how much of this lighter shade of, I was going to say blue because I'm thinking of Steps right now, 90s music, but depending on what size button you're going to use is dependent on how much of this shade you're going to use.
So here's where you're going to need your sharpener. So I'm just going to sharpen my white eyeliner.
Look, doing this look, I was just like, yeah, this white eyeliner is dragging. And yeah, I can see, you can see that the pencil is almost done, but the point of having makeup is maybe to use it in its entirety, but clearly I've had it way longer. Anyway, going in with a cream makeup, I am now going to fill in the top of my little spaceship that I've created on the left eye, and I'm just making sure that I'm going in with a white cream paint or foundation or whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to go in with some blue, and once I go in with the blue, I'm just going to, you know, wing that into my upper lid and into my inner corner and just fill in the gap. And then I'm going to go in with a black just to fill in this little detail that is part of the spaceship or rocket in question of this show that I'm trying to emulate. Then I'm going to go in lightly with some silver paint that is from the flash palette from iMagix, just around the edges, just, you know, just to emulate what we've seen as children, as adults, as whatever. Putting on some lashes. I've never really done lashes on camera, and as you can see, I'm using a tool today, and this tool comes so in handy whenever I can find it.
Now I'm just going to move on to lipstick before I do anything else on my face. I'm just going to go in with a black lip.
Happy with the shape that I've created on my lip. I'm now going in with some eyeshadow just to go around the edges of my little rocket that I've created with a very tiny brush, just, you know, creating shadows. That's what I'm basically doing. And then I am going to go back to my lips, and I'm going to use the white eyeliner that I've used on my eyes just to create more stars and clusters all over my lower part of my lips. I was gonna say mouth, and then I was gonna say face, but yeah, it clearly is a lip. Anyway, going on to highlighter, I'm going to highlight my nose in those spots that you've just seen, just because I want it to look a bit buttonish. Going in with some lash glue now, I am going to put the gold flakes onto this side, and on the next side I'm going to put the sequins. Now, when I was doing this look, when I envisioned this look and when I sketched out the look, my whole feel was to bring this show into the new era. So yeah, I just didn't want it to be very stereotypical of what someone might think to do with the look. I mean, I've never seen this look being interpreted before, so yeah, maybe I am the first, maybe I'm not, but you're seeing this, so I'm the first. But I just wanted it to look very futuristic, and as you can see, I'm placing that button onto my face, and we are done.
Homo sapiens and Marbz, this is how I got the look, and as you can tell, or whatever, this is inspired by
Off the button moon, we follow Mr. Spoon. Button moon, button moon.
There's Button Moon, shining very brightly in the large blanket sky. I wonder where all those bubbles are coming from. The Spoon family are on another trip to Button Moon. Some of the bubbles are flying around the spaceship and going pop, pop.
Button Moon. And yeah, I really did enjoy watching those episodes when I was younger, and yeah, whenever I watch them I just feel like, you know, oh gosh, you know when you feel hungover and you're watching something and you're like, is this real? I kind of felt like that, or I do feel like that's the feeling that I got. Like, it was just really weird watching Button Moon, especially when you have just watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and then Captain Planet and Rainbow Bright, and then you come on to watching Button Moon, and yeah, I always just thought it was a bit weird watching, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. Anyway, so that's how I got the well, that's not how I got the tutorial. This is how I got the look, and hope you enjoyed the looks that you've seen in the series so far, and I will see you soon. Bye. Oh, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.
More spots? I wonder what this look could be.